evening, everybody. Welcome to Anfield for the second time in 12 days. And we will bring you the team news very, very, very shortly. The feeling is maybe that there'll be a few names in there that may catch you by surprise, but we'll bring that to you as and when it happens. Adam, just to come across to you, what are you kind of expecting tonight from Dean Smith team-wise?
Probably, a slightly weakened team compared to what we'd usually expect. But obviously, in terms of the defensive injury we have with regards to Hanley's suspension, obviously Kabak being injured as well, Onbama Daly missing as well. So I think the central defensive partnership obviously has to pick itself. And in terms of the midfield, obviously we'd expect some changes in there. Maybe a chance of someone like Lucas Rook coming back in and getting an opportunity after. He's obviously been injured for quite a period of time now. Maybe Lays Malou as well, who's sort of been a bit in and out of the team. Obviously, Billy Gilmore and Kenny McLean have often been chosen ahead of him. So I think those players I'd expect. But maybe that front line's where I'm maybe expecting there to be some, maybe the odd change here or there. Maybe Rochester coming back in. Whether Rashida and Pookie are going to make this team, I'm not too certain.
Yes, it's going to be absolutely fascinating. Game against Brentford on Saturday to prepare for as well, which is going to be interesting. A decision to be made in goal as well, given Tim Krul is back fit and available. Of course, Angus Gunn has been going well in goal. He was voted the club's February Player of the Month today by supporters, so it's going to be interesting. We're about 2-3 minutes away from team news, so I guess the other question really is Liverpool and what a challenge they pose. I mean, they went into extra time and penalties in the Carabao Cup on Sunday. Is that something that Norwich City can use to their advantage tonight, do you think?
Well, so we're expecting Jurgen Klopp to make some changes. He sort of referenced that in terms of his presser yesterday. I think the goalkeeper's already been pretty much confirmed. He said that Kelleher won't start tonight, so we're expecting Alisson to be in goal for Liverpool. Which, if that's the case, then that's not weakening their team very much. I think even their second string team is pretty strong. I think someone like Diogo Jota, obviously coming back from injury, expecting him to probably be in the lineup tonight, and obviously with Zimmerman and Gibson being most likely the central defensive partnership. Obviously Zimmerman's not played a lot of football, if I'm right in saying it. The only game that he's played this season was Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup, which that's going right back to August, so it might be a little bit of rustiness in there. Obviously he has played a little bit in the under-23s, but you're coming straight up against a Liverpool front line, which, irrespective of whether it's weakened or not, is still probably stronger than, I'd say, 6 teams in the Premier League, even as second strength. So he needs to be on it tonight, and I think, just the whole Norwich defence, we're expecting Byram and Yanulis to start due to the fact that Aarons and Williams obviously, supposedly haven't trained since the weekend due to a few knocks. We're not really sure to the extent of those injuries, but you'd expect both of those to come in. It's a big night for both of them as well. I think Yanulis obviously has been very much in and out of the team throughout the season, often been hooked at half-time. I go back to that Charlton game in the Cup and remember him getting hooked at half-time in that. So this is a big opportunity on a big stage tonight for him to try and, at least compete with Williams for maybe a starting place on Saturday ahead of that really massive game against Brentford in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that ultimately is where Norwich City's priorities are going to be at, isn't it? Because of obviously their situation in the Premier League. But of course, we did get robbed of an FA Cup quarter-final a couple of years ago at Carrow Road. It would have been Manchester United, but of course the coronavirus pandemic robbed that from us. We are about a minute or so away from the team news. It's going to be interesting because I think maybe Dean Smith has gone a little bit stronger than some people are expecting. But we'll wait a minute or so before we disclose exactly who's exactly in that lineup. And as for Liverpool as well, will they have their potent front three, Luis Diaz, who of course caused Norwich real problems in the league fixture as well? How strong will Jurgen Klopp go? We won't have to wait too much longer for the answers to those questions. Of course, I think most Norwich fans are probably expecting a little bit of rotation given the league schedule and the fixtures coming up. Just as I turn to my left, I can see the away end. I can see 1,150 Norwich City fans who have made the trip tonight, which is really rather impressive given obviously the journey. It's a fair old track, and there you go. It's 9:15, and we can bring you the Norwich City team news, and they line up a little bit like this: Tim Krul in goal, Byram, Zimmerman, Gibson, Yanulis at the back four, Norman, Lies Malou, and Rook the midfield three, with Rashica, Poeta, and Pookie up front. So Probably a little bit stronger. I'll just find the subs bench before we come across to you, Adam. And I have it here for you. It's Gunn, Gilmore, Dowd, Shollis, Sorensen, McLean, Sargent, Tompkinson, and John Rowe. So is that stronger than you felt Dean Smith would go when we rocked up at Anfield?
Quite significantly stronger. I definitely didn't see Norman starting this game. Obviously, I know they're trying to manage his workload a little bit at the moment. Obviously, coming back from injury, and we know he's had those injury concerns throughout the season. Probably didn't expect him to start. And I think probably the two that I'm more surprised about in this whole team is Rashica and Pookie. I think, you've got the likes of John Rowe on the bench there. You've also got Jolis, who obviously, has been a bit of a missing man in the past few weeks. So the fact that he's opted for Rashica and Pookie, I feel like Dean Smith's going for it tonight. Whether that's because Norwich are on the TV and it's a chance to get a quarter-final and build some momentum, and he doesn't want to, take a hit in terms of the confidence and momentum ahead of that really big game on Saturday, because I was certainly not expecting that. I mean, the defence obviously picks itself. I expected Krul to come back in, obviously, ahead of just, the game on Saturday as well, because, Gunn's obviously had his chance now, and Krul's come back from injury, needs to get some minutes under his belt. So, yeah, I think probably the most surprising ones there are those, Pookie and Rashica in the front three. Obviously, I expected Luchetta, but I maybe thought of John Rowe or a Jolis on the other side as opposed to Rashica.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see Mateus Norman's name amongst the team, to be completely honest. The Liverpool team, they line up a little bit like this. They have rotated, but it may be worth just covering your ears for some of this. Alisson in goal, Milner, Kanate, Gomez, and Chishmikas at the back. Henderson, Oxlade, Chamberlain, and Jones the midfield three, and none of their kind of big hitting front three. It's Minamino, Jota, and Origi, still very, very talented players. Their subs bench: Adrian, Kelleher, Mane, Diaz, Robertson, Matip, Elliott, Morton, and Bradley. So Sadio Mane does make the bench. No Mohamed Salah at all in the squad. Luis Diaz there as well. So you look at that and probably say there's enough firepower if Liverpool needed to. We're just looking to my left here to see Dean Smith taking questions. But I mean, the way you framed it there, Adam, we were obviously at Tottenham 2 years ago when Norwich did pull off that shot. The prospect of extra time and penalties is pretty daunting for us for various reasons, not least because we've got some newspapers to run for in the morning. But do you feel that's Norwich City's best route to a victory here tonight in a cup shot, particularly given the heroics of Tim Krul at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 2 years ago?
Yeah, I had to say so. Obviously, I was here just under 2 weeks ago now, and obviously Norwich got the lead in that game. But the problem is, as soon as you get the lead at Anfield, you just invite pressure, and the home crowd get behind Liverpool. And as soon as they get the equaliser, I just feel like that's inevitable that then they're probably going to go get another one. So I think for Norwich's sake, probably trying to hold a draw is not a bad thing. Take it to the extra time, and obviously Liverpool, we know, have got a few tired legs in there. Obviously, I know it's a bit of a changed up lineup for them, so a lot of these players weren't involved in the cup final on Sunday, but you got to feel that this is an opportunity. Get to extra time, take it to penalties, and penalties is, we've seen it in the past, as you said about the Tottenham game. Anyone can win a penalty shootout. It doesn't really matter particularly the players you've got on the pitch, but it's still a dangerous Liverpool team. I'm definitely not taking it lightly, and I'd be still very surprised if we're here on 90 minutes and this game is going to extra time. But forever the optimist. Let's hope that we can take to extra time and a penalty shootout potentially. But yeah, as you say, for us, it will be a very, very late night.
Yes, Adam, thank you very much. Thank you all very much for watching. Of course, Pinkham.com and the Pinkham Plus app, the place to go for all the match coverage, analysis, and reaction here from Anfield. It's going to be an interesting evening. Let's hope we're talking about Norwich City in an FA Cup quarter-final come the end of it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon.